Blaming the massive BP oil spill on government and industry complacency, a White House panel on Tuesday called for a dramatic overhaul of the way the U.S. regulates offshore drilling.
Offshore drilling is the operation of oil wells on the continental shelf, sometimes in water hundreds of feet deep. Oil rigs poses environmental risks that can subsequently damage marine life and worsen coastal pollution.
The candidates should be discussing alternative ways of extracting oil other than offshore drilling.
My name is Eric Smith, and I'm a molecular biologist. Fracking, we hear a lot about fracking there, so that's an alternate way. Just land-based oil drilling seems to be much less of a burden on the environment, less obviously less potential for catastrophic spills. The oil sand extractions.
Oil spills affect the environment and human life.
The marine environment and human life are affected by oil spills. More than 25,000 marine animals and 82,000 birds are killed. Humans are affected from the oil because of the vapor that is evaporated into the air and stays in the human breathing zone.
Sometimes they get coated with the oil, so their feathers will get coated, they can no longer fly. Also, it affects their insulation, their fur, like marine mammals and birds. If they're coated with oil, they're no longer insulated against the cold, so a lot of them will be subject to hypothermia. And then, as we know, especially marine mammals, to clean themselves, they'll lick their fur, and when they lick their fur, they'll ingest the oil, and that will also kill them.
Some groups such as SeaWorld, Oceana, and Dawn are against offshore drilling. They are all involved in keeping the marine environment safe and dedicated to maintaining biodiversity protection.
I think there are lots of alternatives, as we know, to using oil. There are lots of other ways that we can drill for oil or obtain oil or alternatives. And I think just too many things rely on the marine environment. We know not just the whole marine ecosystem, but a lot of land ecosystems are tied into the marine environment. And I think it's more important that we protect that and we know that that's safe and utilize other sources of energy.
Some groups, such as oil companies and gas companies like ENSCO, Seadrill, the leading offshore drilling company, and Transocean, would support the continuation of offshore drilling. Oil isn't the only source of energy.
My favorite is just all upside is solar. I mean, the more solar we can use, the better. I mean, the sun is free energy and it's out there half the time, right? So if we could take advantage of solar, that would be great. I mean, there are other wind energies is also another good alternate. I think they still have a ways to go to figure out how to stop chopping up hawks and eagles, but I think they're working on that, and so wind is great. I think some of the others out there have some downsides. Hydroelectric, this damming up rivers has some negative effects on the environment and a lot of the fisheries, and also nuclear. We've seen that nuclear can also have some issues. It's highly efficient, but when things go wrong, they go wrong fast. So solar.
230 miles of coastline in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida were spoiled by toxic oil. And countless families who made their living on the coast had their lives turned upside down. This is an example. This was the oil spill in Australia, but this is similar to what happened in the Gulf.